Good morning, my friends. I hope everybody's doing great. I know this is a little strange to be watching a video, but so it goes. Gotta roll with it. Okay, so today is Tuesday, and I'm super glad that you guys are all logging in today. This is what we're going to do, and this is what you're going to be doing at home. Every day you're going to want to check out the morning video. This is the first one. Might be kind of rough because I'm just learning how to use all this technology, including Google Classrooms. So you're going to check out the video. There's also going to be a schedule posted each day of what's expected. So you want to be watching the video that's going to explain what's expected, and then also look at the posted schedule of Daniel's class schedule. So today you got a few things you want to be doing. One of them is really easy. Just read a book for 30 minutes. You could be reading whatever book you want. There's a reading log. If you go into Google Classroom, you'll see the reading log. And each person has their own, so you can type right on it. And you want to be showing that you are indeed reading for 30 minutes that day. Please be trying to read chapter books also, and not only graphic novels. That's the first thing. You could read to your parents, you could read to yourself. The next thing, I recorded the end of our book, Fish in a Tree. I think it's about 24 minutes. And that's the last few chapters. So you want to read, so you want to listen, hang out, listen to the read aloud. You can draw when you listen to that. You could just be relaxing on the couch with headphones, whatever you want. So that's two things you got to do so far. Both pretty doable, reading and listening to reading. The next one is write a letter to a classmate, relative, loved one. Parents should have picked up cursive paper to write a letter to for you to use for letters. If they didn't yet, I know some parents are going today to pick stuff up like that, you can print it up from your computer. You could also just write on a normal piece of paper. The cursive paper is helpful because you write within the lines of the lines on the paper, and that is something that you could print up. And I even shared something of me writing a brief letter to my friend Jeremiah. Some of you may know. He's my neighbor, kind of weird guy, but you know, I hang out with him anyway sometimes. I wrote a little sample letter on that so that you can see how you're supposed to use it. So I would recommend, in fact, you really need to do that. Please look at that letter, notice how it's done, because sometimes I've noticed people have been writing on top of the lines rather than right in the middle. It's almost like a little ball that just bounces back and forth in the middle of the line. So writing a letter, then please mail it. That is the third thing you need to be doing today. I also have posted a Google Doc that you can write your letter in. You can write your address in there, and then other kids in our class can write you a letter. I even put my address in there, so you can write me a letter if you'd like. If you do, I'll write you back. And I know Jackson put his address in when I saw it last night. I'm hoping everybody puts their address in there. And then people can write you a letter, and then you can respond, and it makes letter writing way more fun. The other thing is one of the bigger things we're going to be doing, and that is the grandparent interview. We have all written interviews up already of our peers in our class, Meet the Staff monthly mega paper. The other interview that we wrote was the buddy interview. So this one's kind of like that. It's the same questions pretty much. For those who did the parent interview last year, it's very similar. I think I used the same questions, but it's actually just for the grandparents. So for this, you could write about your grandparent, Or if you have another older person in your life who you would like to connect with, you can write about that person too. Maybe it's an uncle or aunt, or just a neighbor. But it should be done on the phone or computer with just talking on the phone, or if you could FaceTime or anything that is like FaceTime, Zoom, or whatever you do. But the point of that is to find out a little bit more about our grandparents, if that's indeed who you choose, which I would recommend. And knowing that right now is a strange time and that a lot of people like ourselves are supposed to stay inside for a couple weeks. And that is going to make some people, might make them sad, like grandparents, older people who are especially vulnerable right now and are really supposed to stay home. So that's why this is a really good time to connect with them, and you're going to make their day by showing interest in their lives and letting them know that you care about them. So you can click on the grandparent interview in Google Docs as well. Google Classroom as well. It's going to be, it says grandparent interview, and you can click on it. And I have an example of one that I wrote about a grandparent. You're going to answer these questions. What's the name of the grandparent? Who are you interviewing? What year were they born? Where were they born? What towns did they grow up in? What elementary school did they go to? What was their elementary school? What kind of activities did they enjoy doing when they were in 4th or 5th grade? What do they enjoy about these activities? You're going to get a quote. So you're going to say something like, what did you like about this? Or why was that fun for you? And they'll say something like, what I liked about it was I got to play with my friends. And then you'll say, he liked it because he got to play with his friends. Or he said, I liked it because I got to play with my friends. And I'm going to have a little lesson up tomorrow as a reminder about how to use quotes. But I think we should all remember that quotes always have, I go like this, quotes. There's always a capital letter when you start a quote. And they always have punctuation within the quote, like a comma, or a period, or an exclamation mark, or a question mark. So it might be like, Daniel said, comma, quotation, I just love basketball, period, quotation mark. And I'll have something up tomorrow for that. Just do the best you can for today. Today, really, just mostly do the interview and then start typing it up. Tomorrow you'll have time to. So who did they like to play with when they were a kid? What does your grandpa enjoy doing now? What do they like about these activities? Get a quote, list 5 favorites. Do you have a photograph of you and your grandparent? Maybe it's you and your grandparent with your whole family, or more than one person. That's okay. It might be a couple people, a few people. And then you can read my example. And then I also just have a little mini article that says, introduce your grandparent, and the reader where they were born and when they were born. And then it just kind of says, this is what you need to put in your interview. So the first thing you want to do is just look at the questions, call them up, and start asking them those questions. And when they say the answer, write it down on pencil and paper. You could print this up, or you can type right onto the Google Doc as you're talking. And if you record your conversation, it'd be easier to go back and listen to it. That'd make it a lot easier. And just remember that this is something that your grandparent will really appreciate, and they'll be interested in reading it too. So it's something that you're doing not only for school, but also because you want to do this person a favor. Not really a favor, but you want to show to this person that you are caring about them and that you're thinking about them. Math. There'll be a math lesson today at 12 o'clock. I'm going to put up the 4th grade math lesson because I haven't recorded it yet. Because yesterday was kind of insane getting all the stuff out to parents, and I didn't get a chance to do it. But 5th grade, I think, is already up. So you should be involved in our Google Classroom, also in your math Google Classroom. 4th grade for 4th graders, 5th graders are on the 5th grade one. There is a PE lesson from Kathy. You're going to want to look at that. And I think that's going to be twice a week for PE. And then once a week, there's an art lesson from Melissa. And there's a link to her blog right here on the schedule. It says Daniel's 4x5 daily schedule. So you can be doing that all week long. And you can take a photo and put it up there, and you can see what other people are doing. And that's really the schedule for today. Tomorrow I'll have a ukulele lesson. I'm hoping everybody has their ukuleles. I put a couple new songs in our ukulele book. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. And just be practicing your instrument. If you have your ukulele at home, you got to practice if you want to get good at an instrument. So I hope this video was not too painful. And I hope everybody's doing okay. I miss you guys, and I'll see you soon. And I'll look forward to my video tomorrow. It'll be even better.